What's up, everybody on YouTube? How's everybody doing? I'm doing just fine. Doing awesome, actually, today. Welcome back to another little building tips and tricks video where I'm going to be showing you guys 5 different one-chunk Minecraft houses. So these are houses that fit within a singular chunk in Minecraft. So some of you might not know what a size in Minecraft chunk is. I actually had to look this up myself because I wasn't sure of the exact size. I knew it was small, but I didn't know it was like this small. It's pretty small, but it's surprising how much you can actually fit inside of a Minecraft chunk. Just look at all these houses that we're going to be looking at today. So if you don't know what a Minecraft chunk is, it basically is a 16 by 16 area. So a nice size area, but when you start to get into it, you start to realize the boundaries that you have. So this blue outline marks the 16 by 16 area. So everything within this is the chunk, okay? Everything outside the blue and the blue itself would be, outside of the one chunk area. So let's get into looking at the first house for today. So the first house we're going to be looking at today is a more traditional style house. It's what you typically see within a Minecraft survival world, or just generic world in general, or maybe you build this on your server or whatnot. But yeah, pretty cool little house here. Absolutely love it. I was seeing, let's go with that survival starter house theme that everybody tends to go for, including me. And let's just see how much we can do and how much little details we can add in and everything. So as you can see, I've gone with the andesite and cobblestone sort of finish down at the bottom here, and then just building up with different kinds of wood, spruce and oak, adding little details and elements here. And this wasn't a very hard house to build. One thing I could probably, change up is, instead of having spruce in here, just to easily make it a medieval style house, just add in wool and white concrete powder, and it would make it very medieval looking. So it's one easy way to make it look a little bit medieval. But yeah, very cute little house. Has a nice little pathway going up here. Now, one thing about all of these houses for today is that I did not do the interior for them. This is just simply to give you a little bit of inspiration into what you can fit inside of a Minecraft chunk. So we're just going for pure aesthetics on the outside here. So this is what we got for number 1. Pretty cool stuff. So here we have number 2, which is a really cool little modern house design, and I absolutely love this. Modern houses actually work really well for fitting something inside of a chunk because of how square they are. I could have gone a lot bigger with this house because it just fits with inside the chunk and this little square limitation we have. Modern houses are very blocky looking. So I know we're in a blocky game and all that stuff, but if we look back at number 1, you can see there's a lot of different shapes going on instead of just being blocks on blocks. This is this is really blocky. This is squared off. This is very square, very, to the point of being modern. And this really works with inside a Minecraft chunk because it's a square area. You're squared off to this limitation, so you could add so much more to this house. But I absolutely love how this house turned out. I think it looks really, really nice. Lots of different little shapes going on. We're using gray concrete and also light gray. We have gray over here, so yeah, and then we have white and all the typical modern house stuff going on. And we have a little garden over here. I really like how this turned out because it has different flowers and everything, and just using sort of the same color flowers. So just going with the blue theme here just works really well inside of the garden. Then using podzol as like mulch really just makes it pop that much more and distinguishes the garden from the rest of the land. I have these little tree fixtures which are pretty typical, but kind of fit within this little modern design. Very cool. That was number 2. Looking great. Alright guys, so at this point forward in the video, we're going to be looking at some pretty unique houses, okay? I know the last 2 were kind of typical, but it was just kind of showing you that you can do that style in the one chunk limit. It's not impossible, but the next ones are going to be pretty unique, and I think you guys are going to really like them. So this one we got here is a Adobe house, and I was just looking at images on Google and just, looking at Adobe houses and just seeing, I've never really built this before, so I'm just trying to get a reference, and I think this one turned out pretty good. One of the main features with Adobe House is that they have these little sticky outy bitties at the top. I don't know what you would call them. That's what I'm going to call them, though. They have these little sticky outy bitties with logs, and I think they look really cool on the actual houses themselves, and they give them a distinct look. So I tried to do that as well as possible, and I think it worked pretty well. Another unique feature with this is that I've done something different with the windows. I was going to go with fences, but I was like, you know what else can I do? So I used two different kinds of trap doors, sort of similar in color, and just kind of created this little unique window design. And, kind of like the Adobe houses, they have like these little windows, but I wanted to do something unique with this. And I think the lanterns really work well here. And yeah, it looks really nice. So one more unique thing with this house is that I did something kind of unique with the door. I didn't just put a unique, just a typical door. You can actually access it. I know it kind of looks like that. So at the top and the bottom, I've actually added some trap doors that block you. But this is new with 1.14. You can crouch and then you're able to access it. So it still functions like a normal door, but once you crouch, it kind of works really well. And this really works, I think, as a doorway better than just a typical open hinged door, because for Adobe houses, they're typically in the desert, clothy, sort of think of like clothy fabric doorways. So that's what I think of at least. But that's number 3, a pretty cool, unique Adobe house design. Okay, so number 4, looking really cool. I like this one a lot. I don't usually do this. Once again, not a very typical, house that I build. I do it on occasion, but it's like spur of the moment, or I'm building it on an SMP. I think the last time I built a tree house was on Afterlife Season 1. And that wasn't a very good treehouse. But this one, I went into full detail. What I did with this house is I built the trunk first, then the house on the trunk, and then I made the branches grow around the tree house. So it looked a lot more natural. You can see how this branch just sort of goes and grows in the tree or in the house structure itself. So very cool stuff. And I've also just added a bunch of different leaves randomly all around, and just a different pattern. And you can see this actually does have a chimney poking out at the top here. And I was designed that way. I just built a house on the trunk of the tree, and then I just added the leaves and the branches afterwards, because I feel like that's how it should have been done. And the trees just sort of now overgrown the tree house. So pretty cool stuff. Not how you would typically build a tree house in real life, because you try to incorporate it with the trees, whereas this one is sort of the tree is growing around the treehouse, kind of a different way, but I think it looks pretty unique. I don't know. You have to let me know what you think. But yeah, you enter in through the bottom here. I guess this is not how you would typically do a treehouse. You want to enter and go through the trunk. So this is sort of like a fantasy style tree house design, but something about it just has this little bit of charm, and I think I really, really like it. So you guys will have to let me know what you think about this one chunk house. So this next house is crazy, okay? And it doesn't look crazy. It doesn't like, make it doesn't make you pop. It doesn't make it pop or anything. But I wonder, like, what are these little cute little huts? Well, these are little Trillo houses. I think they're called Trillo Houses. They originate from like a town in Italy, and yeah, pretty cool stuff. So like, I really like these. I was just looking up houses. I said, all right, I was running out of ideas. At this point, I was just running out of ideas, and I'm just like, I don't know what else to build. What can I build in a one chunk house? I already got a tree house. I got an Adobe house. I got a modern house. I got a traditional survival house. What else is there? The Trillo. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. I think this is really, really cool. I absolutely love this because it is just how unique of an idea this is. So yeah, again, this is called a Trillo. So if you want to look it up yourself, they're just these little white huts with like cobble roofs, just little dry stone huts, and it's like little villages of these. They're amazing. They just have like little lanterns out front and little flower pots. and they have like these little like rounded sort of windows, I think, if I can recall correctly. I'm trying to remember it off my head. And then they have like these little archways that just sort of are randomly connecting each other. And those are just the main features that I could think of. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a very unique little house design, and it's not that hard to build. It really isn't. All I did was I added some smooth quartz mixed with some concrete powder to kind of add a little bit of a stucco texture, or like the stone randomization texture. They're made out of like stones, white stone brick, if I can recall correctly, and they just have like this kind of randomized stone roof. And then for the front here, I used some regular quartz blocks just to kind of distinguish the doorway area. But other than that, they're pretty easy. They're pretty easy to build, and they look super, super cute. And yeah, just another little inspiration. And again, just make sure, one of the biggest tips I can give is just, if you want to come up with an idea, you need some ideas, just go on Google and just search, not Minecraft houses, search real life houses, different house ideas, and search that in Google, and literally a list of houses will pop up, like just all different kinds of houses. I never knew how many different kinds of houses there were. I mean, I know there was a lot, but there's a lot. And so just this is a very unique kind of idea. I think it works really well. You'll never know what you can come up with, but just get a little bit creative with it. But you guys will have to let me know what you think about all of these designs that I have for you today in the comments below. Let me know. And if you did like the video, leave a like on the video. And if you want more building tips and more building stuff, related stuff on the channel, well, consider subscribing, because there's going to be more of that on the channel coming up in the future. So yeah, awesome stuff. Again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, don't forget to be awesome. And I'll see you guys next time.